Sony A7R III, a camera that was announced in late October and was available in late November. So I've had it for about 6 weeks. It's my favorite camera in the world. 42 megapixels, 399 phase detect autofocus points, 425 contrast detect. So what that means is it has a lot of points throughout most of the frame, so it can autofocus left side, right side, top, bottom, a huge area of the frame, whereas a traditional SLR was limited to focus areas and more towards the center of the frame. So it allows for a lot more options.
So this camera, the A7R Mark III, as we said, was introduced just a few months ago. And Tony and I were talking on the bus this morning, like, what features would you like to see on cameras, things like that. Well, when the A7R Mark III was introduced, we took a lot of feedback from the users of the cameras and from our professionals. So this camera incorporates quite a few of those features into it, like dual card slots, like touchscreen, like joystick, like dual USB. Tony said that was one of his big requests, is to have a camera with dual USBs on it.
And right now I'm shooting at 10 frames a second. So this camera will shoot 10 frames a second in mechanical or electronic shutter. In mechanical, 10 frames a second will let you shoot with strobe. In electronic shutter, it's silent. Hi, I'm Tony Gale, a Sony Artisan of Imagery here at CES 2018. And I'm with the brand new Sony Alpha A7R III, which is a terrific still and video camera. The 4K it does is amazing. It can shoot in 5K, downsampled to 4K. It's got a very wide autofocus area. It can do slow and quick, so it can do a frame a second in 4K and on up. It will do extremely high ISOs. It will cover very high frame rates and stills. It's an amazing, amazing camera. And the A7R III won the Smart Review 2018 4K Camera Category of the Year. It's a super great award to win. If you look at the screen, face detect is on. You see all those squares of all of you guys? You're seeing those faces, acknowledging that those exist and trying to focus. So one of the things you can do, so this is wide area. So it's looking, it'll track. It'll do 10 frames a second, which is incredible.
And it'll not only do 10 frames per second, but you wouldn't be able to tell here, but it can do 10 frames per second totally silent if we wanted.
It will do, well, yes, although I rarely use that because I shoot with strobes a lot. And with the mechanical shutter and 10 frames a second, I can shoot with strobes. We don't have strobes set up here. But you can shoot with a flash 10 frames a second. So you can get a super sharp action on every shot at a low ISO. This camera is great at high ISOs, but it's nice to be able to do this. So you may be able to hear that. It'll do about 30 frames in RAW at 10 frames a second. And now you can see one of the other advantages, if you look in the upper left, you can see that number going down. This camera has a UHS 2 slot for SD cards, so it's very, very fast. And we're using the Sony G cards, which will write at 300 megabytes per second, 300 megabits per second. So it'll clear all those raw files like that, which has always been a problem when I've shot digital. I shoot really fast, I shoot a lot. I'm a big believer in editing down later. And so if you shoot fast, you fill it up, you gotta wait. With this, you can just go. And that was 25 pictures in 2.5 seconds. Done.
And this camera has the ability to not only autofocus extremely quickly, but in sampling its autofocus points 60 times per second. So as fast as your subject's moving, the camera's more than able to keep up.
And additionally, it has 399 phase detect autofocus points, which is what you need for tracking focus. 399, it goes almost to the edge of the frame. The A9 goes a little bit further. It's got a slightly wider focus area. But the A7R II or 3 is almost on the frame. It's pretty great. It also has 425 phase detect, which is better for things that aren't moving. But it is, let's try and see. It also has eye autofocus. You have to have an eye looking at me. It's hard when your subject is. So her back is to me, it can't find her eye. It is a flaw. It can't look through a head.
Exactly, no x-ray function yet.
But it will do, it'll track. It's really good in low lights. So we're at 1250 ISO, which is fairly high. But this camera will go, let's crank it up. So now we're at 12,800. And it still looks pretty good at 12,000 ISO.
So as Tony said, this is 399 face detect and 425 contrast autofocus points that go edge to edge, top to bottom on the frame. So regardless of where your subject is, you're able to track. Actually, the camera's tracking. Nothing against you, you're holding it right now. It's tracking.
I'd much rather let the camera do the work. As Paul said as well, I want to focus on composition, I want to focus on lighting, I want to focus on my subject's expression, getting the right moment. I don't want to have to think about focus. Flexible spot, expanded flexible spot, lock on AF expanded flexible spot, which I never use. It's good, Paul says it's good.
Yeah, because we did add a joystick controller, which was one of the things a lot of people asked for. And Sony's been very good at listening to customer needs and requests. So this particular camera, we added dual card slots as a customer request. We added that joystick controller. Something Tony and I were talking about yesterday that we personally don't use, but is on this camera, is touchscreen, which is great for autofocus during video, because you can just move your finger along the screen to change your autofocus points. Lens, we announced that Friday, so it's not even a week old. It's a newborn and we brought it out here. Actually, our control box that we're using for the bullet time video here, that we only announced 2 days ago. So that's really, really new to the lineup. But every camera on the counter here does shoot full 4K video. Obviously, 4K is important in the industry, as you can tell through TVs and smartphones doing 4K. Well, we have it in products ranging from $499